There is a name for people who are reincarnated after death, but keep all the memories of their previous life. They are called the Awakened. I know because it happened to me. My life on Earth was hard. My mother died young. I spent every day protecting my little brother from our drunk, abusive father. In the end, I couldn't save my brother. A drunk teenager swerved and hit Carl with his sports car. The rich kid got off with a warning while my brother bled out in the street. The only person I loved was gone. When I was shot in a mugging a month later, it was almost a relief to die. But the next thing I knew, I was next to a gorgeous woman's bosom. She looked at me lovingly. "Hello, Leith. I'm your mama." I was in the body of a newborn baby held tightly. Around me was a wooden shack filled with people dressed like peasants from medieval times. The little girl clinging to my mother's dress must be my sister, and the boy glaring at me from the corner is my brother. A man hurried in to embrace my mother. "He's perfect, Alina." It felt strange to be pulled into a hug. Was this what real, loving parents felt like? I couldn't take it any longer. I threw my blanket to the floor. My grandmother grabbed me and set me in a cradle. Then she spoke a strange word that I'd never heard before, and a black light projected from her fingers onto the blanket, and it floated back onto me. Was that magic? I was reborn into a world with actual magic. Immediately, I tried to mimic the feeling. I internalized the word Nan had spoken, and the blanket around me shimmered. I almost rolled out of my cradle with excitement, but my grandmother's expression darkened. She hissed into my ear, "Keep your magic secret. If anyone finds out you've had magic from birth, you'll be in grave danger." She checked to see if anyone else noticed. I wanted to scream, "Why?" But the old woman placed her hand on my forehead. "Sleep well, child." I tried to fight it, but magic surged into me, and sleep overtook me. For the next 6 years, I kept my magic hidden from everyone, including my family. But that didn't mean I stopped using magic. Each morning, I practiced in secret. Wind was my favorite. It didn't leave any evidence. I could make the dust float in a spiral, send leaves scattering. "Leith, you must get ready at once!" My mother charged in. I spun around guiltily, lucky my mother hadn't noticed my magic practice. "What's wrong, Mama?" My mother yanked a tunic over my head. "The trial of Magica is today." "The what?" "The Magisters have come to our village. They'll test all the children for magical abilities." I didn't know yet if this was good or bad. What if we have magic? My mother hurried out the door, calling for my siblings, Orpal and Trista. "If you can do magic, it'll be the most wonderful news in the world." This was it. The moment I'd waited for. I could finally show everyone that I wasn't some ordinary kid, that I was special. I could make my new family proud. I rushed to pull on my boots. I would be the first one at the trial. I would show everyone my gifts. Now it was time. I would be safe to reveal I could do magic at the ripe old age of 6. Only then, Nan appeared in the doorway. "Leith, what are you doing?" I grinned up at her. "Nan, did you hear? They're going to test us. This is my chance." "Absolutely not. You can't show them your magic." "But isn't that the whole point? Don't they want to see if I can do magic?" Nan looked toward the front door with urgency. "You possess magic beyond your years, more advanced than any magister in the world. If they learn about your gifts, they will feel threatened and kill you without question." I wanted to ask more questions, but knocks at the door rattled our tiny house. My father opened the door, and 3 men in red robes, magisters, stood waiting. "We've been told you have 3 children here." "Ah, there they are." My mother pushed us ahead toward the magisters. "Come along with us now, the trial awaits." The magisters urged us down the cobblestone path heading toward town. Townsfolk gathered to watch the children, everyone beaming with pride. Only they don't realize I'm walking toward possible death. We neared the square, the sounds of drums and cheers swelling with each step. Villagers waved cloths, smiling and shouting encouragement. After years of hiding my secret, this should have been my moment. Instead, I was terrified. One wrong move and I could lose everything. The town square was transformed. A grand platform stood at the center, draped in crimson and gold. Magisters performed effortless feats of magic. The crowd gasped. The children giggled with joy. I watched in stunned silence, forgetting for a moment all the danger. This was what magic could be. This was what I could be. But not today. Not if I wanted to live. One of the Magisters conjured a ball of air into the sky. It hovered and then flashed a white beam of light. "The trial of Magica begins now," he announced. "Form a line!" one of the Magisters called out, and the group of 40 or so children did so. One by one, we were brought before a Magister who held a black stone in his palm, small, smooth, and completely still. The Magister bobbled the stone in his palm. "You will say the words Caspius Nolectum. The stone will respond." The first boy tried it. Caspius Nolectum. The stone twitched slightly. The Magister shook his head. "Next." The boy began sobbing as he was taken off the stage. The next girl wasn't able to move the stone at all. In front of me, Orpal grinned, turning around. "Bet it won't even move for you. You'll be a dud for sure." I ignored him, hoping he was right. If they knew what I could really do, they'd kill me outright. The line moved closer to the platform in the center of the square. Trista stepped forward and immediately stumbled on the staircase. Without thinking, I whispered under my breath, "Valis." Just a word, a stabilizing spell I'd heard Nan use before. Her fall slowed and she caught herself. Maybe nobody would notice, but the Magisters had seen it. "Who cast that?" Silence. The eyes moved from the crowd into the line of us children until... I did! Nan emerged from the crowd. "I know a few spells. I didn't want my granddaughter to get hurt." The Magisters exchanged glances, an annoyed look on their faces. "No interfering in the trial, no matter the circumstances." Nan bowed her head. "I understand. It won't happen again." She shot me a warning glance. I stared at the ground. She saved me. But it was a close call. Too close. "Next!" The Magister barked, and Trista stepped forward, nervously fixing her dress. "Say the words." "Caspius Nolectum." The stone hovered a full inch, and the crowd erupted into applause. Now it was Orpal's turn. He practically shouted the incantation. "Caspius Nolectum!" Orpal's stone wobbled and then hopped. The disappointment was clear on Orpal's face. Now it was my turn. The Magister studied me as I stepped toward him. I felt like he already knew what I really was. He was going to kill me right then and there, wasn't he? Orpal rocked on his heels. "He's a dud! He can't do magic at all!" In reality, I was so powerful that these Magisters would kill me if they found out. The Magister shot him a silencing look and nodded his head toward the stone. "Say the words, boy. Caspius Nolectum." I took a deep breath, focusing myself. My goal was to make the stone do nothing. "Caspius Volabrum." I said the wrong words, hoping they wouldn't notice. Nothing happened. The stone didn't quiver, it didn't lift. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. Maybe I was safe. Then I heard gasps from the crowd and I looked up. The stone hadn't moved, but the Magister holding it was no longer standing on the ground. He was floating 3 feet in the air. The crowd roared in shock. Fingers pointed accusingly at me. In my past life, I would have loved the attention. But now it felt like a death sentence. The Magister slowly landed back on the platform. "We must test this boy further." My stomach dropped. What exactly did that mean? Would they take my blood? Cut me open? I took a step back, truly terrified. "I don't want to." The man raised his hand. "Silence." The crowd was quiet now. The Magister nodded, and moments later another Magister brought my mother with him to the platform. She looked confused. "Is something wrong?" "We just need your cooperation." My eyes darted from my mother to my siblings. "What kind of tests are you gonna do?" I tried to sweeten my voice, to act truly childlike. The men ignored me. "Is he coming?" "He is." A hush rippled through the square, and footsteps, slow and deliberate, announced another man's entrance. "Who's coming?" Orpal whispered to my mother. "Hush!" The crowd parted and a man neared the platform. The Arch-Magister. His robes were darker than the others, his eyes sunken but sharp with intelligence. He towered over me as he approached. "Look at me, boy," he commanded. I looked up, making eye contact, but it was too much. I felt my gaze fall back to the wooden platform. The man hummed under his breath, smiling slightly. There is something more to this boy. I tried not to flinch. He dropped down to one knee and forced eye contact once again. Recognition passed over his face. He knew I was hiding something. The Arch-Magister stood. "We must use the true challenge against him." The Magisters exchanged frightened looks. "You can't be serious. Not here. Not with an audience." The Arch-Magister continued to stare. This man had horrible intentions. I felt anger surge inside of me. The Archmagister raised a hand, and a servant rushed forward carrying a black iron brand, its tip glowing red hot. Place your palm on the brand. If your magic is weak, it will only burn, but if your power is great, it will carve straight through to the bone. A hush fell. I stared at the brand, my hand curling into a fist. Knowing my strength, that brand would disintegrate my entire body. I couldn't do it. I'm done with your tests. I want to go home. The other Magisters stirred, whispering nervously. A flicker of amusement crossed the Archmagister's face. Home? You want to go home? He glanced at my sister, a smile on his face. That girl. She is your sister. I didn't respond. I didn't want to look at the man, let alone speak. My mother answered gently. She is his sister, yes. A Magister seized Trista by the arm and threw her down on the platform violently. She cried out as she hit the ground. Mama! I tried to step forward and run to Trista's side, but something magic had frozen me in place. Trista! Orpal's confidence and bravado had disappeared. Tears welled in his eyes. My mother lurched toward her daughter, but another Magister grabbed her with a cruel twist of the wrist. This is madness! What are you doing? The Archmagister stayed focused on me, waiting and watching. Tears streamed down Trista's face. Please, I didn't do anything wrong. The Archmagister raised a finger. More! Another Magister stepped forward, lifting his hands, palms crackling with power, and a blast of electricity jolted from his fingertips into Trista. She screamed. The sound was piercing and terrible. My body fought against the spell holding me, but I couldn't move. Orpal bawled. Stop it! She didn't do anything! Please stop hurting my daughter! The Archmagister nodded intensely. She is not the one we are testing. He was still watching me. Only me. I couldn't react. I had to bury it all, to pretend I felt nothing. I could show them nothing, but I could feel it bubbling inside of me. Not magic, but something just as dangerous. Rage, guilt, and desperation. I couldn't take it anymore. She's just a little girl. She doesn't know anything. The Archmagister cocked his head. Do you? I swallowed hard. The man smiled, a wicked smile. Perhaps we need something more final. He drew his sword, the blade hissing from its sheath. Trista's eyes went wide. Mama, no! My mother threw herself forward, desperate to get to Trista's side. She's just a child, you can't! The Archmagister raised the sword above his head. The crowd recoiled, gasping. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move, and I couldn't take it anymore. For the first time in my life, I had a real family. A sister who made up silly songs and took care of me. A brother who teased me but still waited for me when I lagged behind. A mother and father who tucked me in at night, who sang songs to me, who treated me like I was someone worth something. And they were going to destroy all of that. All because of me. Because I couldn't hide well enough, because I had dared to hope that this world might be better than the foul one I came from. They're going to kill her to get to me. One instant I was frozen by magic, and the next I was standing between Trista and the sword. I looked up at the Archmagister, my eyes glowing electric blue. I wouldn't take any of this any longer. Nobody would ever harm my family again. I lifted into the air. Energy swirled around me. The Archmagister's eyes bulged. He's the Supreme Magus! Next time on Supreme Magus, Leith has revealed his powers, and now the entire town knows he's not just special. He's dangerous. The Archmagister won't stop until he breaks Leith, and darker forces are stirring, drawn to his presence like moths to flame. But Leith isn't a child anymore. He's the Supreme Magus, heir to a power that will reshape the world, or destroy it. As armies rise and ancient evil awakens, the boy who was never meant to survive may be the only one who can save them all. The next chapter begins now. Download the Pocket FM app now to listen to Supreme Magus and thousands of other premium stories for free.